Most people are not rich because they have no money. Most people are not rich because how they think about money. In this video, what I want to do is break down the top 5 rich versus poor mindset that if you're having, you certainly need to remove from your life. Because take it from someone who grew up broke and poor, it is really hard to change this mindset, but it's definitely possible. Now, the first mindset we need to talk about, and this is the one that always gets me, and even to this day, it still gets me, is that I can't afford it mindset. You see, broke people say, I can't afford it. Rich people say how I could afford it. And when you have a broke mindset, you instantly want to shut everything down. And when you have a rich mindset, you get really curious and you're trying to find out how you're able to afford these things. Let me give you a good example because this is one I hear so much when you talk to people about investing. Broke people say, I can't invest because I have no money. That's it. The conversation ends. They do nothing else about it. But a rich mindset will find ways to increase your income in order for you to start investing. The number one priority thing for someone with a rich mindset is paying themselves first. You cannot delay that. And what broke people love to do, and I used to do this as well, is you just don't have a budget. You just buy things all willy-nilly, and then 3 or 4 days later, you're broke. And you continue to say, how are you going to get ahead? And that's a cycle I see so many people in, especially in my community. What we could do is instead of saying, I can't invest, you have to start thinking of ways of how to increase your income. $200 a month or $300 a month doing a little side hustle in order for you to invest. Because if you do not want to work a 9 to 5 in your 60s, investing is your number one priority. So the key takeaway here, guys, is to remove limited language and replace it with problem-solving language. Now here's the second one. A broke mindset is spending to impress, while a rich mindset is investing to build wealth. Broke people will buy $500 of shoes to impress people, while rich people will buy assets to generate $500 of cash flow. You see, as long as you continue to buy things to impress people, you are never going to build wealth. You will remain in a broke mindset and living a paycheck to paycheck cycle. We all been there and been done that. I did that in my 20s. I thought impressing people was the way to get ahead. And I recognized usually the person that's the quietest in the room, the whole look poor and be rich type mindset, those are people that are building wealth on the side while I'm here just trying to impress people going broke. You see, what the rich people do is play a whole different game. They think about investing and thinking a long-term strategy. You see, when you have that broke mindset, you do stuff like get an iPhone on credit. And what people that are rich, what they're trying to do is invest in assets to buy them the iPhone. You see, that's a major difference between a broke and a rich mindset. As long as you keep on just buying and buying and buying, you're not going to get ahead. And that was my biggest downfall. I just love buying things to impress people. At work, I wanted to look the best, thinking I would get a promotion, to get the ladies, I dressed a specific way. Everything I was doing was trying to impress people, and impressing people, guys, never got me rich. You see, because if you do that, you'll be working a 9 to 5 in the rest of your life, rather than investing and making sure you don't have to work on 9 to 5 in your future. So to overcome that mindset, what you should ask yourself every time you make a purchase is this something that's going to make me look rich, or is this something that's going to make me rich? The third mindset is broke people only have one job, that's the only source of income, while rich people have multiple. You see, broke people say, as long as I have one paycheck, I'm good. When rich people say, if I only have one paycheck, that's risky. Listen, we're in 2025. Getting fired now is something that can happen to anybody at any moment. Layoffs are happening at an alarming rate. AI is replacing so many people's jobs. Having just one single paycheck is not going to cut it. You are one day away from a disaster. Me personally, I have multiple streams of income. And this doesn't necessarily mean that I'm working 3 or 4 jobs. It doesn't mean that. I have my primary job, I do content creation, and at the same time, I invest to have my assets generate income. Because the only way I'm going to survive during these times is from my investments. Not strictly just investments in my portfolio, but investing in myself and in my mindset. Because think about it, when you get fired, yes, you lose your job. That source of income is cut. But if you lose your job, your investments remain intact. So to overcome that, what you need to do is start small. Start looking at a side hustle that brings you a few extra $100 a month. In the same time, you could build some digital products, or you could buy yourself a dividend portfolio. All this will work as long as you show some patience. The fourth mindset is broke people have a fear of failure, while rich people learn from failure. And this is one of the things, guys, that destroyed me. I remember growing up, I was always like, but what if I fail? So I would never do anything. A business venture, anything in my life, I will always think about what if I fail? Because, well, I was embarrassed. And rich people don't think that. Rich people understand that failure is part of the process. There is no success unless you have failure. You have to continue to fail, continue to show up, and eventually you will win. See, most millionaires fail so many times before they actually become a millionaire. And then broke people, and I was just saying, was like, oh, look, they're lucky. But they're not understanding that the longer you stay in the game and you continue showing up and you continue participating, eventually you get lucky. And to me, luck is when skill and preparation meets opportunity. So to overcome this, reframe what failure is. Understand that failure is the tuition you pay for success. And the fifth mindset is broke people have instant gratification while rich people delay gratification. Broke people want it now, while rich people can wait a little longer for the reward. And this falls in line when it comes to investing. A lot of people want to get rich overnight and they do not want to wait. So many people do not want to put money in a Roth IRA account. They don't want to put money in a 401k account because that's money protecting them in the future. And I tell people time and time again, you need to make sure you invest for your future. And this is something we're seeing throughout society where people are getting $50,000 car, paying $800 car payments, and you add insurance on top of that, gas, repair, registration, all these fees on top of that, and then they're complaining about how hard the economy is, strictly because they got a car that they couldn't afford and now it's derailing them. But what you need to understand is the true cost of the car and how much that's going to derail you in your future. How is that going to hold you back from getting rich? You think of it that way, then you might get yourself a $15,000 car or $18,000 car. But all the decisions you're doing today with this instant gratification is going to set you back. Now, this one is not an easy thing to do. I get it. Right now, with marketing and consumerism is at an all-time high, and everyone wants things right away. Amazon spoiled us. We get things the next day or sometimes the same day. But in order to build wealth, I'm going to tell you it's not fast. The way I like to think of wealth acceleration, I like to think of it as a car. It needs gas. And to build wealth, you need time, discipline, and consistency to fuel your wealth. And as long as you continue to throw your money away, every day you're losing time and your chances of becoming a millionaire is eroding. So now you understand the top 5 rich and broke mindsets that you certainly need to change in your life if you continue to have that broke mindset. And remember, wealth doesn't start in your bank account. It starts in your mind. And as soon as you change your mind, that's when wealth will start coming in.